better than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. 'Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm moving my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. Killing time, we got nowhere to be. You're sending messages I can't ignore. No contemplating, come here close to me. I'm bored at home, can't leave the house no more. But I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm losing my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quality, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. You, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. Quality, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart.
Okay, so any moment now we'll be hearing a verdict on the Leticia Staunch case. We're anxiously wanting to hear that guilty verdict, what she did to that little boy, right? So, hey, everybody. Chaotic is in the house. Hey, Sarah. Anybody want to come up with me while we're waiting? There's October. Good to see you. I can try to share the screen if you want to watch it together. Is it Court TV that I can go to and they not strike me?
Probably. I'm on Law and Crime here. It's all Court TV, I think, has a commentator giving an opinion right now.
Okay, so go to Law and Crime. So I'm going to go to a new tab, and then I'm going to what?
Open up YouTube.
Open up YouTube. I'm going to get that screeching sound in my ear, right?
No.
Okay, hold on just 1 second. I'll drop you a link, Sarah. Yes, I'm getting ready to bring it out. Okay. So open up a new tab. I'm going to hit mute for a second in case we
Good. Trying to find something. I lost. Dang, where'd it go?
Okay, can y'all see it's okay?
It's me.
Click for more now or manage from setting. Okay, it looks like we've got it up. Can y'all
Nice.
see it okay?
Looks like it.
Yes. This is what it
Oh,
looks like.
goodness, I found it.
It's doing this, so shut yours off.
I just did.
Juice, Scotty. I need more juice. It's just like, what do you call it? What is that called? What is that called?
Spinning, loading.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So it really is any second? Did they say that? How long have they been, you know,
Yeah.
working on it? She gonna get busted?
I'm not sure why it's not coming in. I hope that this. Then why is it just spinning?
Do you have
Yeah,
do you have a good
chaotic says it's
signal?
buffering. That doesn't help us. Can you please stop walking away while we need your help? There's like 50 people wanting your help right now, Ken. Now's the time to go for a cigarette break. It's buffering. What does that mean?
It should refresh.
Do I need to shut my phone off? How do I refresh it without
Let's see, the
losing it?
words are
Turn
working.
your camera off and let me sit there.
No.
Then I can't help you.
Mm-mm.
Is the chat moving over here?
The chat is moving, yeah.
No.
I saw the chat moving on the screen.
It's moving for you.
Yeah, the
They said
chat
that
on
that's-
the yeah. It's just the
Okay.
screen part is not coming in, so it looks like it's kind of frozen, like either
Yeah, the
refresh
screen person coming in the chat is
Go up
or
here
it's
and hit your
loading, like
refresh.
right
is your
there.
Wi-Fi
Right there.
We have
let's
shitty
see.
Wi-Fi, and I'm in a concrete apartment.
That's what I was wondering if it was it was your signal.
Still just buffering.
There you go.
Here, it's done.
There's the screen.
Okay, now where's the chat at?
Just
Here it
go back
comes.
over here. Click over.
I don't have touch screen.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Click back over here on this
Uh-huh.
window
Yeah, I'm over here fine.
and just leave that
We're
window
fine.
alone.
We're fine. We're fine. Be gone.
Glad that I can help you.
Thanks,
Talk to
Sarah.
me, computer.
Thanks, Sari. Oh, he gets on my nerves. Right when I need tech support, he goes for a cigarette break. Makes no sense to me.
You have another
It looks
phone?
like it's working.
No, Ken, we'll figure it out. Me and these girls will figure it out fine without a guy. How about that? So what's y'all's opinion? 9 minutes, 50 seconds to go. So there's still a countdown?
There's an
It
actual
just told
countdown.
us the family, the Gannon family, the chat. What's happening?
Hit play in the law. Yeah, hit play in
Hit
that
play?
video. In that law and crime video. Yep. Courtroom.
Please show
Let's see.
verdict.
They might have the screen off too right now. Everything's working. The chat's moving along.
Okay, so it is working.
It looks
Okay,
like it
so
is
we'll
to
just
me.
chat while we wait. Because it said
I
in
think they shut
chat
it.
that they were still waiting.
Sometimes when when they're doing court stuff, they shut the
Did they
camera
tell
off.
the
Like
family first? They said the family just walked in. It says family just walked in the courtroom.
oh,
Did they
it
tell
says verdict
family
reached.
first? They didn't us.
I don't know if they do that, but it does say verdict reached.
Yeah, they are loading in the courtroom. Okay.
Now, let me
Thank you,
ask Chaotic.
Chaotic.
Yeah, Chaotic, you're in the chat. Is your cameras off too? Like sometimes they shut the court cameras off until they're ready. Is yours off too? They're loading in the courtroom. Okay, wow, so it really is any minute.
Hit play on Law and Crime. I did that.
I like how you can zoom in too now on your phone.
Yeah,
I got
I
mine
hit
zoomed
play.
in. Yeah, yeah, it's playing. And it's live.
Okay.
It says live. They probably just don't have the camera. Oop.
Now what? Oh,
I'm assuming we wait. What do you think, Chaotic?
so
Is that what yours looks like, Chaotic? 'Cause she said she has
they
multiple
still
ones
have
going.
cameras. She said that they
Yeah, the
have
cameras are off.
court cameras off.
Okay, so that it looks like
Okay.
everything's working on your end. And if you're on a phone, you can zoom in on the screen. That's what I've done. Or maybe I'll put the chat on until it. Can you tell me when the screen comes on? Wow. What do you think? Guilty?
Those in chat while we're waiting, vote for me to vote in the barnyard. I'm bringing potato salad. Somebody said
You want to
something
go in?
about they were bringing weed and then there was cupcakes and huh?
I
Isn't
haven't
that what I
decided
want
who
to
I'm
do?
voting.
That's what she told me. She said to you're already in there. So she
Oh,
said to
yeah.
have a live and tell people to put me in there.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I haven't picked who I want to put in there yet,
She
so
said go live and
I could possibly pick you.
have people vote. Okay.
We need some trolls in
And
there.
I'll bring the potato salad. They said they've got red velvet cupcakes coming and wheat, and I said I'll bring potato salad.
Maybe I'll vote for Mama T to be in there.
They said 11 minutes. I don't see a countdown.
Let me see. Let me zoom in here and see.
I see. I'm seeing different stuff in the law and order, law and crime. Leticia's hair will be down.
There's a
It'll
poll
be in her
there.
face, I bet.
What will the verdict be? There's a little
I
poll
think
on
she's
law and
guilty.
crime. Oh, I don't think she has
Yeah,
any
let's see.
chance. Oh wow, people are super chatting the law and crime a
That
lot.
doctor. What did you think of that site, doctor?
I haven't followed it
So
long enough
chaotic
to.
for parties in the barnyard. They don't
I
start
gotta vote for
cameras before
someone.
everyone's in. Okay, thanks, May. Yeah, so she's gonna make it spooky and fun, and bring party supplies.
Well, this helps because if I see who's voting for who in the chat, then I can pick somebody that's not got to vote yet, you know? So it kind of helps.
Yeah. Yeah. I want
Yes,
everybody
you
in
did,
there.
Beth. Yes, you did. You got me the win
I
for my
voted the
dog
last
fund.
time for Sarah and the barnyard.
So I thought if they did another one, I'd be voting for
Yes,
Beth
good to
in.
see you. Good to
I'm gonna
see
ask if I
you.
could vote them both in. Can I vote in the Duttons like as a pair? They're married, yo. I can't believe I got the win for that. That's crazy. The next prize is double the money.
Yeah, I saw that. Justice says,
Jason.
put me in the barnyard.
So everybody watching, all these people want to get voted in if that
She
gives
says,
people
I have
ideas.
FOMO. What's that? What's FOMO? What's that mean?
I'm not sure about that.
My internet sucks. Did I just lose it again?
I'm reading the chat. I can't see the screen yet.
Comes.
I think it will hear the noise when it comes on. If you're missing out. That makes sense.
You're missing out. Oh, that's funny. I saw your video, Sarah, at the beach with your
You
doggy.
saw my little one? Yeah, I was just like, I better make a
I
quick
love
video.
your dog.
I didn't.
I love
He
your
loves
dog
being
so
pushed
much.
around. He's like a freaking prince in there. He literally gets upset. You know, like when you're pushing a kid in a cart, and if you don't move, they cry sometimes if you stop moving. That's what he does. Like you're some kind of prince or something.
They
Yeah,
said
I'm used to
hit
this carriage.
play. Okay.
Let's see. Let me check it
Thank
out.
you,
Let me
May.
zoom in.
Thank you, Chaotic.
Well, so they've been talking this out for 7 hours, 38 minutes. I didn't realize they've been already in talking it out. I didn't even know it was
Camera is
over.
on. What do I do? Why don't
Let's
I see
see.
it?
All right, let's see if yours is on
Am I doing
live. Click
something
the screen.
wrong?
No, they could all be a little behind each other. I can't tell if your screen's on play though or live. If you go to the bottom, yeah, that part. It says it's live.
Okay. Camera's on. Talking now.
They're talking.
Why don't I see it?
I know it says live.
Oh, I
Oh,
see
here
it
we go.
now.
Here we go.
I
Here we
see it
go.
now.
You got any volume? I'll shut my mouth. Oh, you're busted. You're going to jail today. You're going to jail, Leticia, today. Is the mic off? The sound. Are they talking? Looks like they're talking.
Yeah.
Not sure how
Can
to
y'all
get the
hear
sound
them?
then. No. I see the words though. When I zoom in, I can see what they're saying. They have the subtitles on.
I wonder if I'm delayed. I hear it. Y'all don't hear it?
No, I don't know the trick to that. Somebody in the crowd might. Like, actually, the person who would know is Chaotic because she does this stuff. I don't know how to do this, the screens like that. Do you know how we get the sound, Chaotic?
Chaotic, can you hear? Can you
She
hear
said,
from? Wait a minute. Sarah, Chaotic, can you hear my
she said,
screen?
she said you're delayed. I just see the subtitle, so I know they're talking. We
She
can't
says
hear
I'm
it on your end,
delayed.
but
You
we haven't
can't
heard
hear it
one
on
sound.
mine. I
You
don't
hear
know
them
what
talking though?
to do.
This
I
happens to
don't know what I'm
people when
supposed
they're
to do.
streaming.
Right.
You want to
Yeah.
send it through my phone?
They just brought the jury in, Chaotic says.
All rise for the jury.
Oh shit. I'll zoom in and look at the words at least.
Please stop. Just brought in the jury.
I can read the subtitles out loud once they talk.
I know what's wrong.
Thank you. You all may be seated.
Thank
Court will recall People versus Leticia.
Count 1, guilty murder in the first degree.
Oh shit.
Thank you, Chaotic. Yeah, I've got such crappy internet. I need a booster like Kemper bought.
Yeah, I never knew those existed. I should get one of those.
Me either.
I wonder if they're
I
portable.
actually had our internet guy guilty on all charges. Count 2,
Oh shit.
guilty murder, 12. Guilty on all charges. Yes! Woo!
Guilty of count number 5.
Count 3 of tampering with a deceased body.
Oh shit. You're going to jail, Leticia, today.
Count 4, guilty tampering with evidence.
Oh shit. She's not even moving. She's not surprised. Looks like they're checking with the jury now. Is this your verdict?
She doesn't look like she's happy about it.
She's not moving.
Is she
Feel like she
flipping
had to
anybody
have known.
off?
She's like a statue. I think she must have known this was coming. You would think.
She was the one that was a teacher. She was a
Yep.
teacher. Can you believe this?
It's frightening.
Justice. I wonder what her sentence will be. Will they sentence her now? Because they sentenced my daughter's killer right away. There wasn't another.
I wonder if she'll have to come back for that. I know she's gonna go to jail right now.
I don't think her face has changed or she's moved or anything.
No, she's withdrawn.
She's smiling. They're saying she's smiling in the chat on one.
I'm trying to zoom in on her face. It's just a little blurry. Psycho.
She is.
Smiling like Lori Vallow.
Thank you, Chaotic. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Okay, I'll close that out.
Wow.
Yeah, so. All right, guys.
You going to jail.
That's right. Thank you, Chaotic. I appreciate that so much. Absolutely. Beth, you look like a movie star or actress or something in your pictures. You're beautiful.
Yeah, Beth is fancy.
You know when they were making fun of us over at the other side, I was like, we have the prettiest team. We really do over at the stand, you know? We really do. We have the prettiest team. That's why they hate on us. We got the best mods. We got the best team. All right. So what did y'all think of that? I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
I wonder
y'all
if she's
don't
smiling.
forget, tonight is Barnyard over at Southern Girls. It's at 7 o'clock. Y'all be ready to vote and bring your side dish or whatever it is you want to bring to contribute.
And it's not just creators this time. It's subs and creators.
She said anybody on YouTube.
Even trolls.
That's awesome.
She said she wanted somebody to vote Freeside in, too.
So, Tell me about your trip to the beach. You're so lucky.
I just actually drove around. I pulled up the map on my phone and I was like, huh, I'll just drive down here. I just look at the coast and see which road goes to it, you know? I'll
Yeah.
try this one. I've never been there. I probably won't go again because it was hard to push the little dog carriage in the sand.
Yeah.
But, you know, I thought I'd check it out. There was a lot of houses right on the beach there. You could see in the video. I'm like, you bastards. I'm out of here, you know. There was some rich folk neighborhood. It's probably private.
So let me put this up here before I ask the question. Banner.
Hello,
Subject
tattoos.
matter. Here we go. Did she dismember him?
Oh,
Y'all know?
I'm not sure of all the details because every time when they were
Because it
starting
said one of the counts was tampering with the deceased
tampering.
body. Did
Yeah.
she or no?
When they were starting to talk about that, I changed it. I didn't want to hear it, so I didn't get to, you know, listen to the
Right.
details.
Hey,
I was like, I can't
tattoos.
hear this again, not after Lori Vella stuff.
Oh my gosh. So let me just put this out there to y'all. Don't get mad at me, those that support him. But go listen to what I shared on the community wall and in Discord. I put it in both places to what is going on the West case with
Oh,
the Cal City boys. Okay. And when you listen to this that I'm sharing, remember Benny was partying with them. He partied with them. So when you go listen to this, I can't get that out of my head.
and I think
Holy
there was,
cow.
yeah, I think there was another creator involved too.
It was the Doug, right? The
Yep.
No
Yeah.
Thanks
Yep.
investigates. They
Yeah.
both were
I didn't.
partying with it. It's like, do y'all not have any standards at all? I mean,
I believe
you
it was
know,
early on. It was early on, and they were probably trying to get some content, I'm guessing, and you know, be friendly with them. I didn't really follow
I would
it
not
that
want
much. I
my
just saw little
name,
bits here and there.
fingerprints. I wouldn't want nothing about me anywhere near them. Would you? Knowing what they were being
Oh,
accused of? I don't
nope. But on the
care
other
if
hand,
it's.
yeah.
I don't. What I'm saying is, I don't care if it's you're innocent until proven guilty. It's if you're wrapped up in something like that, I don't need to be smoking a joint with you. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
don't know. You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
how can you even chuckle with the guy and share a joke if you know that when you go listen to this, that's what this person was capable of doing. This
I
is
can
what
only
this
say it was
theory,
probably early on,
yeah.
and it was
The
really easy for that content for people to know what's going on because that person was right around the corner from him. I believe. I believe it was close and easy. Like, you know, if there's a case going on and you want to get involved to do some YouTube content and that's what you like doing, if it's right around the corner on that side too, I can see why you would want to like try to report on it, but not the other stuff. Not the other stuff, not the partying and stuff, but
no, I'll interview you, but I'm not going to go party with you. To me, that is just like, okay, sentencing is in 30 minutes. Okay, we'll pull it back
oh
up
wow.
then.
I hope it can
In
come in
30
for you.
minutes, I'll pull it back up then when we get close to that.
30 minutes.
So this theory that I'm sharing with you guys is another creator. And she read all of the testimony because we weren't allowed in the courtroom. And then she came back with, once she's like read it all, where her mind went and why the second boy was also killed. And her theory is spot on. They say the argument started over one of them drinking the other's bottle or drink or sippy cup. Well, hell, that
Wow, that's
happens all the time. Wait. There's more to it. Don't jump yet. because they were medicating them in their bottle. This is her
Oh
theory.
Lord.
This is her theory. And the one had already gotten his nightly dose. And then when he went to go drink the other one, he got a double dose. And that's the one
Oh
that
man.
passed in his sleep and he regurgitated. The second one, she feels, this is her theory, because he kept saying, "Where's my brother? Where's my brother?
Oh
What
my
happened to my
Lord.
brother? Where's my brother?" That's what she thinks is why the second one had to go. It's
Whose
spot
theory is this?
on.
Is this a sibling
The
or
one that
somebody in the courtroom?
another creator, I
Okay.
shared her theory on
Okay.
Discord and on my community wall, and she
Okay, I'll check it out.
reads all of it. You'll hear all the testimony. Then at the very end
Hmm.
of the video, she tells you her theory. And
Hmm.
if you follow it and you hear that I think it's 7 days worth, but this is the testimony of the children that told. And
Oh, that's what I want to hear.
then you want to hear this one. So she
Yes, I do.
reads it all. She tells you all about what the children said and how they were found and this, that, and the other. And then there was no proof of life in the new house. And how they used the boys' income for being foster children as a means to buy a new house. So they
Wow.
couldn't like say, "Uh-oh, this happened," because they were right in the middle of moving into it. They would have pulled the funding
Hmm.
because they wouldn't have been. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna
They're
get
they're
fraud too.
right. They would not have been able to go. The loan wouldn't have gone through for the new house if they had to cut her income.
Right.
So she just kept going on as though he's still alive, he's just missing. Her theory is spot on. I totally believe
Wow.
everything because as it, as that's exactly what I came up with too, except the part where she said, um, I kept thinking, why the second one? But why the second one? Why the second one? And she said, because the other children had said that the little boy kept saying, "Where's my brother? Where's my brother?"
I have so many questions about that, although you
Hey,
got older
Southern Girl.
kids. Why did the older kids never say anything? Were they covering for them? You know?
Yes, she was guilty on all charges. I'm going to put this up here, so just leave it there.
I
I
guess
think.
it's known now, but I wonder if they were asked to lie and cover up, is what I mean. And I wonder what will come out
Yeah.
with
Oh,
that.
well. Okay, this is what happened. Um, when the one regurgitated and was found dead in the crib, he was old enough and heard it and saw it and everything. I mean, it's not like you can hide it. It's a 2-3 bedroom home, right?
Hmm.
Um, so and you hear all the oh my gods, right? So as a 10-12 year old kid, you're like, what the hell, right?
Yeah.
So they told him what happened and he touched the corpse
Oh
and
Lord.
they said, do you think that we should call the police? They'll do this XYZ, take you away and we will lose our house and we'll go to jail. And so the little boy said, no, don't call the police, I won't say anything. Then the
Oh, that's
second
so
one come
bad.
right. Then the second one come up gone. He said, I don't know why the second one come up gone. He just one day was gone with no explanation.
Oh my Lord.
And he said because he knew what happened to the first one, he was scared to death. Because
I was wondering
damn,
if they
there's
were
a
scared they were gonna get killed. Yeah.
right. That's exactly what he was afraid of. That is exactly what he was afraid of.
Wow, that's messed up. They're all psychologically damaged. That is so screwed up to put that on them.
Okay. Today is Leticia Staunch, the Gannon, what's his last name? Gannon.
Um,
That case, she was found guilty just now. We are waiting to hear more testimony. I think that they're going to see if they're going to testify in their own on the West case. That one's not finished yet. They're still yeah. So I don't know if they testified in their own behalf today yet. At the end of the day, she'll post her video where she reads all the testimony and she reads all of it, and then she gives her 10 cents. And anyway, so it's up if y'all want to go guilty on all charges. Yes. I just feel like, holy cow. And because it happened the way that it did, all I could think about was Josie is that age. Josie is that age.
Mhm.
So we'll see, right?
And I wonder if they're in like a protective foster home, so they're hidden to feel safe.
I don't know. What does that actually mean when you're in protective
the Wells.
custody as opposed to just being with foster parents?
Well, from what I would believe, they would put them far from where they usually live, and sometimes they even change their name, just like they would for the witness protection. But they'll take them out of their regular area so they're not known and move them to a different school and everything, and not tell the biological family where they actually are, even if they get phone calls and everything. I think the Wells boys are in the protective home.
Hey, Days, good to see you in here. Let's see. I'm talking about Leticia. Yeah, she was found guilty. Sorry about
Oh yeah, just right before you came in, Southern Girl.
Yeah.
The sentencing is pretty soon.
And what do you think is going to happen with the cult mom?
Oh, that one.
What a mess.
I think she'll get life.
Okay, love you too. She's working outside. I'm jealous. I want to be outside.
Southern Girl?
It is so many cases, isn't it? Isn't that ridiculous? And that's why I wanted to have a show on, I don't know even how to say it. It's almost like we're single women, divorcee women, are letting these men have access to these children, and it isn't just women. There's men too, just like this one right here, Leticia. She was a stepmom, so it happens both ways. Okay.
I'm still curious what will happen with Cody Bigsby, the Harmony Montgomery.
Oh, wow. That one's awful. That's awful.
I know.
Case. I just feel like, gosh, we've got to change our standards here, ladies and gentlemen, of what we're allowing around our children, right?
You got that right.
Adults can take care of themselves, but these kids, they're dependent on us to make wise decisions when we go to dating, And do you ever watch what's his name? Steve Wilkos?
No.
He has shows on there. He used to be the bouncer for Jerry Springer. He has shows. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about now, right? Steve Wilkos?
Yeah.
He has shows all the time where the step parent, male or female, has hurt the children.
Wow. Insanity.
And like Dr. Phil said, you don't have to just worry about that person. You got to worry about their family members, their friends,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm making fried chicken and a pot of beans today, and the beans smell so good.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, you and your beans.
They smell so good, man.
I don't know what I'm gonna make yet. I better think of
Anytime
something.
it's cloudy, I like to use my crock pot.
I love crock pot.
I do too, man. What are you gonna make?
That's what you got me thinking. I hadn't even thought yet. I mean, I went shopping late last night. I got thrown out of the store. I was listening to somebody's live, and I was trying to hurry as fast as I can. But they close early now, so I always go on Sunday.
Yeah, all day yesterday I felt like it was Monday.
That's why I was like, I didn't get to do anything over the weekend, so I wanted to do a little quick beach time today. Because that's why I usually sneak that in with my dog, and I feel bad he can't walk, and I don't want to leave him home because he's always been my, beach buddy. So I'm just making that
Now
shit
tell
happen,
me what is the temperature of your water? Because it was cold here.
Well, it's in the. Let me check my temperature. It was this morning. It was in the mid 70s. My house is hot. When I just came home, I was like, "Oh man, it's stuffy." Let me see what it says here.
You hate beans?
Oh wow,
I,
75. It's 75.
oh, you're welcome. I told you we love you. You keep us fun. You're welcome.
We're thinking about our votes for later, Southern Girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I haven't thought about who I'm going to vote for because you're already in there, aren't you?
I guess I forgot about that. Southern Girl, I have a question. Can I vote in a couple if there are a couple on here, like as a couple, as a team, like a married couple?
There's
Can I vote
only
both
one.
of?
The Duttons. That's funny.
I want to vote in the Duttons possibly. They voted me in, so they kind of go together. So I'm like, I gotta ask about the rules. I think they go together. Are you guys from Florida? Well, you guys just went there.
My dad and his wife were trying to come and chat and they can't figure it out. She said, "It's Greek to me. You'll have to come sit beside me." Meaning come back to Florida. Yeah, I'll come help you. Oh well, I'll have to walk them through it sometimes. Are you guys home? Yeah, we came back like midnight Saturday.
I loved that drone
We
footage.
ran out of money.
Yeah, it can
After
get
that,
costly.
no, it was after the tow and the tire. We went with
Oh,
plenty. It was just we weren't expecting car repairs on the way.
exactly.
Tell me, Southern Girl, why did you leave Florida? Tell me what you don't like about it. If
Yeah,
they're
good point.
married, they should go together, 2-for-1 deal. Yeah,
Exactly. Thank you, tattoos.
that's funny. She said, "Well, if it's one channel, that's fine. You can vote in the futons. Just call it the Duttons, the buttons." That's funny. That's funny. I'm glad they didn't leave YouTube over all that mess.
Yeah,
Did you?
I'm kind of in the dark about some of it, I feel so rotten because I don't kind of know what all is going on, but I think it's sometimes best. Some things I don't.
Yeah.
I do get curious. I do get curious, but I guess in the end we'll see what happens.
Um. So, what was I going to bring up today? I can't remember what my topic even was going to be. I guess it was just going to be Barnyard and the verdict, and then I guess
Hmm.
the sentencing. Yeah, sometimes it's better just not knowing it. I know. Right. Hey,
Oh,
Constance.
someone should vote in Constance too.
Yeah, we got to have Connie. As in Connie Chung, because she's a badass reporter and saves children. What is it they win if they're a reporter? A Pulitzer surprise? It'd be a surprise, all right.
Oh,
I meant Duttons. Yeah, I know what you meant. I know. She said was using speech to text. She said you can. There's Connie. Yeah, man, I love
oh,
Constance.
oh! I gotta ask Constance something so bad. There's a video I wondered if she's seen about. It's about Dolly's soap actually. I think I don't know if Constance is the one who shared it. Constance is the one that shared the video about the soap fraud? Because I found the website. I wanted to ask her about
Or-
that.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
come up
soap's
if you
fraud?
can. I found out that somebody posted a video yesterday, and I was in shock. So they are alleging that Dolly buys soap wholesale as a loaf, like the whole big loaf, and then he cuts it and sells it as his own homemade soap. He puts a sticker that he made it, you know what I mean? All the ingredients matched up, and it was the same on the website. And I found that website, and you can buy a
Are
whole
you
loaf.
serious?
And,
He
and
doesn't make it?
I'm telling you right now, I found it. They all match. I checked the ingredients, and I was in shock last night. And actually, the bars, when you buy the whole loaf like that and cut it yourself, you're only paying about $1 something a bar, and he charges like what, $12 or something. I don't really know what his price is, but I was like, oh my goodness, that's messed
Yes.
up.
Yes.
I mean, it's a
And
good way to make money, but
when we ordered it, he bought me one bar and it was $10 plus shipping, and it never
yeah.
came. It never came.
Oh, so you're one of the ones that didn't get it either?
It never came. He was madder than hell.
I know
He gave
April
us our money back,
ordered.
but it took several months
Good.
before he would refund us.
Well, that's messed
And
up. I know
he had
April
to
ordered.
pester him to get him back.
That's happened to multiple people, and I always thought, maybe he just needs an assistant or something. And then I know that he had somebody helping him for quite some time. Oh, she
Here's
did see it.
a
Yep.
link, Constance, if you want to come up, or whoever.
I'll share that website with you after this if you want to look for yourself. Well, they have many, and they also have all the lotions in the same scents and everything. And you can buy a 5-gallon bucket. And you know how he was talking about getting a lotion machine that he could put it in bottles so it's easier on him. So you can buy 1-gallon and 5-gallon buckets, and all the wholesale lotions that they sell are the scents that he is selling. I was like, oh man. I mean, it's okay if you do that. That's what wholesale's for. But if you claim that you made it, it's a whole different thing, and you're upcharging so much money to people. I was like, shoot, I'll just buy a loaf for myself if I want it. I know I can make my own, but the whole thing is people think that he's making it.
Make my own because I can pick the scents I want and what
Right.
color I want. And
Right. And that's why I like to do it too. And but I just thought it was cool you could do that. But the whole thing is it's fraudulent if people think Dolly is making it, and that's kind of messed up. I think in the beginning he was doing the melt and pour kind, but this is cold press. This is the kind that, the different method where you have to with the lye, I think, like the way I make it.
I'm on my way to between. Okay. How do you like your new house? Do you like it? I hate moving, but we do it a lot.
Oh, moving sucks. That was my whole first part of my life. Move, move, move.
See, mine wasn't. I grew up with my
No
mom
stability.
until I was 12, and then I went and lived with my dad. And when I left my dad, I've moved a lot since then, just because I want to see stuff and I get bored with stuff. If you could leave Boston, where would you go?
Well, let me think about that. I mean, probably somewhere along the coast, somewhere down mid. I mean, I do like Florida, but when I go, it doesn't feel like home. And I've thought about other spots, not just like a Rhode Island or Connecticut or something like that, but I'd probably go somewhere midpoint where you get warmer weather, where you don't have such a harsh winter.
His current girlfriend, PJ, not so secret diaries, helps with the soap just like his old girlfriends. Oh.
Maybe packaging, but he buys it now. And all the scents were there. He does cherry almond. All this, it all matched up. And I was like, what the hell?
Wow. What's this Captain Crunch? How can he use that logo and all?
Captain Crunch? What do you mean?
He has a soap, that's scented Captain Crunch, and then he's got a soap that's scented like some perfume from Victoria's Secrets. How are you able to do that?
Well, you can buy, hopefully he's using the soap scents and not the fragrance oils. There's two different things, because one's for candles, and you don't want to put the candle one in the soap one. But I mean, I would think he would know that, where he's been doing it for a while. But usually, I know that there's I know there's a candle, for instance, Captain Crunch, and that requires an oil.
Oh.
a scented oil, and you don't want to put those that are made for candles and stuff. You don't want to cross those and put them in your soaps. They usually say on
Well,
the package at the craft store, or if you're ordering online.
I enjoy making it. So, and when he would be, what do you call it, shipping it and stuff, and then he'll go live and, he's
Mhm.
putting it in this. To me, it looked like, okay, well, he must really do it, right? But guess not.
Yeah, I think he did it first, but they look different now. The one that was posted on the video, for instance, was cotton candy. I mean, I went to the website and it was a match, but then I looked at his ingredients list like the guy in the video did, and it was matched to a T. And I looked at the bar. You can buy the whole loaf from $18, $19, and you can, and it shows you how many bars if you do 3/4 inch cuts, 1 inch cuts, and you get about 20 bars of the loaf at the sale price of $1 something to eat. And if you're charging $12 or whatever, $10, you're making a good profit margin. Same with the lotions and everything. If you buy wholesale, buy a 5-gallon bucket for $150. Well, you just think of how many ounces are in there. I mean, it's a good business. It's just, the problem
Well,
is saying you made it.
you saw how
That's what I think is
mine are
fraudulent. If
kind
that's
of
what.
petite, so that's why I only charge like 4 and 6, depending on what
Well,
what.
it's good that way. People will buy it. Yeah,
Hope so.
more willing to
I
buy it.
think he
I think
used to.
I would be more willing to buy it with today's. Used to. Yeah, I think that's what I thought, because they all changed. The look changed and everything. I pay attention to that stuff because I do this. I make soap. I know, and some you have to let air out for a month if you do the kind I do. There's cold and hot, there's a heat one, but you're supposed to let it leach out for a month so the lye doesn't burn people's skin. And I don't know if those loaves
Wow.
come already done. Like, yeah, that's what you have to do. There's different kinds. Not the kind, and that kind you don't have. It's already like.
I
One
just
of the
go get
steps
my
is
supplies from what's that store called, Ken?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
Michael's Lobby.
No, we go to
Oh, I
Hobby
love those
Lobby.
stores.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, he got me the kit first, which is this right here. I'll show it to you. He got
I'm painting right now while I'm talking to you.
right here. This is what he bought me to start it
Holy
with. And then
Oh wow.
when
Dang.
when I ran out of supplies, I looked at what was in it, and everybody liked it, and I sold out of it, so I just went and bought more of it.
Mhm.
So, and if it's on sale, I can pass that on to you, and when it's not on sale, I can't. It's
Mhm.
there's 4 and then 6. This last one I think is isn't it 6 a bar? This last one you make because it's glycerin. And you
Mhm.
saw it's fairly thick.
Yeah, that's a thick bar. I remember seeing it.
So I don't know why he would lie about that. That sucks. But anyway, yeah, like I told
Well,
you, my husband was like, I'm not subbing to him anymore after he didn't get his money back after a long. He had to really harass him on Facebook.
you're not the only one, unfortunately.
And it was
That's
like, look,
it's not
just give it back.
it's not a good
Really?
business practice to have to. I know that April, I don't know if she's in here, but April had to try for 6 months to get something that she ordered, and she kept saying it in chat when he'd do those specials where he's making things. She'd say, "I didn't get mine yet," so she'd get put on the list or whatever. But 6 months is a little too long to have to try to get your stuff. That's messed up.
Yeah.
So she won't ever order again.
Sugar Pie says, Sarah, what is lye? Is it ash and water?
Let me look at a bottle. I got to move my painting table. Let's see. And also, I use the lye, and I make something. You might want to try this just for fun sometime. If you ever find a crock pot at a thrift store, because you can't use it for food once you use it, but you can make crock pot soap, and that's what I do when I do it for my family. And I do use lye, but if you do it in the crock pot, you don't.
I have an extra crock pot. How do you make
it
in a crock pot?
I'm gonna actually find you a video on that because it's interesting. Well, I'm gonna look at the lye bottle right now. I haven't used it in a while. Oh, it's household. You can use it as drain cleaner too. But once you cook it, it leaches out when you do the crock pot method. Let me see. But it can burn your skin. So I do it all outside with a pot. Sodium hydroxide, caustic soda, lye. Anyways, with the crock pot method, it's really fun, and you get a big, huge batch of it, and it's cheaper. It's cheap doing it like this.
This is the glycerin I made sugar pie.
I do coconut
pretty good.
oil, olive oil, stuff like that, shea butters.
Yeah, this one he is selling for
Nice to see you, sugar
$6
pie.
just because of the method he used was more
Yeah, you gotta do
complicated
it
than the
sometimes.
last one.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
work.
so anybody wants to
That's a
purchase
thick
any.
ass bar. You see that? Just saying. Just saying. I can't do it as good as Jimbo.
You know, when I went over to Mod for Lori and Bob last night, and he did a whole commercial for me for my soap. Isn't he
Oh, really?
awesome? He's
Oh, that was
always
nice of
so
them.
supportive. I mean,
Yeah,
he's just a
they're
great guy. I mean, he
they're
knows I'm
very nice.
struggling. I'm struggling a little bit, trying to get making money apart. And so
Yeah.
he's just awesome, I like
That was very
modding
nice.
for people that support my channel,
Yeah, right. Crisscross. Why do you use your name?
Crisscross. Right.
That's from a
So,
murder movie, I think. Crisscross.
Gypsy, you're so that's from Throw Mama from a Train.
Oh, I
Gypsy, you're
freaking
so
love that
amazing.
movie.
Thank you.
Owen loves his mama. Owen.
Thank you, Beth. I appreciate that.
Damn, I used to watch that on VHS.
They show that a lot around Christmas time. I don't know why.
Jimbo! I was just
She
saying
said,
the Jimbo voice too, and he's here.
considered a fraud and he needs to be addressed. I hear you. Are you talking about him lying
Who said
about
that?
soap making? I think she's talking about Dolly saying he makes a soap and he
Oh,
don't.
I wish I could show you. I'm going to pass on the video to you after this so you can see it. And then I'm going to send you the website because I went and did my own research
Hey,
last
Jimbo.
night. I checked in everything. It's true.
Coach. All right.
I think he's getting the 5-gallon buckets of lotion too.
I'll be
All the
listening,
scents
but
he has
getting.
match.
I gotcha. I'll be getting the side eye again.
Oh, thank you, Beth.
Yeah, thank you, Beth. So,
How many minutes till?
I blocked that down Easter Alexa because she talks major shat.
Does that one come in here?
Yesterday, and I blocked her. It's like, why are you even here? You don't like anybody in here.
I don't think they like anyone. I don't think they like anyone.
I just know that you've had words, and that's all I'll say. And so I wanted to let you know that I did block that person yesterday. I don't know if they're male or female, but I blocked them. So
me neither. I think it's somebody that came back under that name. Somebody that was already around is my guess.
I do too.
And a lot of people have their own opinions.
Does
They're
anybody
angry as
know
hell.
whatever happened to Cracker Jack? Whatever happened to Cracker Jack?
I talked to them on the phone before.
You did, Cracker Jack?
A couple times, and then there was an incident. She ended up getting a little fearful and stuff, and I think she disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know if she came back under a new name, but she was really, really worried about stuff going on, and thought that she could be in danger and stuff from YouTube stuff. So I mean, that's the impression I was given, and I was on a 3-way call with Mama Tia multiple times with this Cracker Jack person.
She said, talking about pots, if any of you have really old pots hand me down from your grannies or whoever, don't put bleach in them. I did and I regret it. Oh, bless your heart.
Certain metals react. Certain metals are reactive. It's the same with making soap with lye. You can't use certain metals if you're mixing it in a pot. I have all my pots that I get from craft stores just for crafts. Thrift stores, excuse me.
Let's see. She said, please pass on your information that you've learned about
For real.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm going to show you all. I'm going to send you the website, all of it. It's funny that somebody came in under the name Catching Frauds when I was talking about it. Screw her. Must be Alexa.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what her deal was. I mean, all day
I think they
yesterday.
just
She was
like,
just bam, bam. It's like, are you serious? Do you know these people or something? Jimbo, hey,
I don't know who it
honey.
is, but they're so
Me
angry, and
either.
they
Yeah,
they
no
seem to only like
kidding.
they only seem to like Mama T, and I don't think they go anywhere else. I'm not sure really.
They like Ernie too. I
Oh, they do
haven't.
Ernie's.
Yes, yes. Yeah, they're pro Ernie, anti us. I have an entire Dolly playlist. Anyone can use my clips. Awesome.
Well, I just found a new Dolly channel that I saw from one of Constance's clips, and I'm following that channel, and they've done a couple lives exposing. And I had no idea. This channel, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll have to check my list. I'll send you their link too. They're doing a
Yeah.
couple lives on them, just for, your own information. I used to be sub to him in a membership I had, but it got canceled because, he lost his monetization.
Yeah, I don't sub either.
And then Constance showed me a lot of things, so.
Well, I saw just in my news feed that he had gone to cover I think it was an old mental hospital that's supposedly what do you call it, haunted, and the cops came.
Oh. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. Hey,
Usually you got
scapegoat,
to
good
get
to see
permission.
you.
You got to get permission usually.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do first.
Oops, sorry. 1 second.
Once Upon in True Crime is MK Ultra's new channel. Oh. Sub up to channel links drop. Each one has fantastic creators. Absolutely. I meant to be on time, but spent most of the time. That's okay. I don't blame you. It's beautiful today here too. Constance, I'm the same. I don't mind anyone using my stuff either. It gets info out there. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing
Got
good.
it.
We are happy that there was a guilty verdict on the Leticia Stout case on all charges too. Sentencing is supposed to be, I think, in 30 minutes from 4 o'clock. So I guess it'd be here in about. It is.
It's
Okay.
back. I was just going to ask you.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me try to figure this out real quick.
Okay. I'm going to mute out for a second.
I don't remember how to do this, Ken. Do I present?
Turn the camera off.
Present.
The bottom, share screen. Okay. Window.
Taking too long. Can y'all hear?
Not yet. We hear you, but
Oh, 'cause
there's
it's
no
pulling
screen
it
up,
up.
just the palm tree. It's
See,
spinning. It's
stop pulling it.
refreshing.
Tom, it's hung up.
There it is.
I don't know if you can hear or not.
It's a lot of pressure on a judge when you think about it, you know?
Can y'all hear him talking?
No. Is he talking? Can you hear him talking?
You can't hear it?
No.
You're giving, all right, then I'm just gonna mute that in my ear. My computer just shut down.
I think it's coming back. It's just refreshing.
I don't think I
real
got
slow.
this.
I see the screen now.
Net.
Well, it's
See,
black.
now I'm out. Can you maybe figure out how to do this when we're not live, and so that it goes smoothly?
Yeah, you can blame it on me, honey. It's fine.
It's okay. Everyone can hang out while you're figuring it out. No one minds. They'll just chat.
It's freezing.
Please stand by. I think they dropped off.
For some reason it's still playing in my ear, but it's not up on my computer. So I don't know. I don't know why it's playing in my ear. It's not on my computer anymore. So it's not even here anymore. What?
You want me to help
You're not helping me.
you? You're yelling at me like I did it. I didn't. I bought you the
Is it
newest
gone
computer
now?
they have.
Okay, I think it's shut off now. It's shut off now.
Well,
Nope.
you guys both dropped off for a minute.
It's still playing. No. Why is it still playing? It's not even up there. You just close it. And when we're not live, figure out how to do it smooth. Okay, that was
I wish-
annoying. We'll figure out how to do that when we're not live.
Constant.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good. People just chat. If Constance was still in here, I would ask her to post the link to that channel that did the soap stuff so that Catching Frauds could see it. But I can't really
Oh,
post
yeah.
them up on the StreamYard just because it looked like they wanted to investigate it.
They're gone. I don't know who that person is anyway. They're gone, scapegoat. They're gone. I took care of it, scapegoat. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to let people come in here that I ain't never seen before in my life attack people. I ain't got time for that. You're welcome. I see what's
Well,
happening there, so it's okay. I got you. I got you. You ain't got to go
I don't
nowhere.
I don't know nothing about that. I know they were just looking into the other stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had a problem between themselves.
she's being kind of harassed by one of them. She does. She follows her everywhere she goes.
Never seen them before.
Yeah, that's okay, Beth. I got him. I got him. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, ran into post office, missed the action. Okay, they're doing the sentencing now, but my computer doesn't want to cooperate. So, I don't know if it's because of
Wait,
my apartment or what, but I can't get it to play. So we're still waiting to hear what they're letting the family give impact statements, and then
oh
after
nice.
that they'll do the sentencing. So it'll be a
She's
few minutes. Okay?
she's probably sitting like a statue still anyway. Even when they read, she probably won't react. You could just tell us what year she gets and everything, you know.
Yeah,
See it
yes.
if you're
Just
watch.
put
Are
it
you
in
able to
chat.
watch it? Yeah.
Victim impact statements being done now. Thank you, Beth. What were we talking about before all that? I can't imagine her not getting less than 20.
I can't.
You?
I'm gonna get. Yeah. Let's take a guess. Kind of like a poll, but not a real poll. I'm gonna say life because I think she'll get a certain amount of years for each crime, which will would end up being life. You know. Sometimes they give so many years.
Jimbo says, "Hey, everybody."
Just saying.
I
Just
can't
saying.
imagine anybody getting less than 20 for life, right? I mean, 20 years is a life, right?
She's got
And like,
multiple charges. So
God,
yeah.
yeah. So come on, I would think
She's
she would get that plus, 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 right?
You're going to jail, Leticia, today. I
For
just have
real.
it playing in Ernie's voice in my head.
By the way, I'm getting all my therapies back that I so needed for my. Oh, I'm glad for you. Hey, Jimmy,
Jimmy,
have you
Jimmy,
been
Jimmy.
fishing? It's been raining off and on. I bet there's some fish out there good right now. She should get life in prison without parole. Hell yeah. What state is this in that she's in? Is she in Colorado?
That's
They
the that's what popped up in my mind for some reason, but I don't know. That's what I wanted to say. You're going to
uh,
jail today.
definitely. I wonder if she said, and I got all my babies home. Oh, babies have good homes to go to next
Yeah,
month.
brutal crime, multiple charges, years for each charge. She's screwed.
Yeah, I know, really. Do they have that there? I was wondering that. Yeah. And
Ooh,
my
chaotic. Oh,
dog.
sorry. You see what she
That's
says?
okay. Drop a link and I'll share this stream if you want for the statements and sentencing.
Could try it. That's what I used to do on Mama T's. I'd play it on my screen.
I just was going to Law and Crime channel. I don't know their link.
Oh, that stinks, October, baby. You might have to move now.
I need a new at-home job with the loss of Dr. Allen. I'm accept. Wow. Very sorry about that. She's in
You know,
Jersey, right?
everything can change in a second.
Yeah. Now, in my daughter's case, before we ever went to trial, they were talking like being happy with 10. I was like, hell no. So that's why I got in the media and pulled a bullhorn betting. And then I got life plus 14. So sometimes you've got to do that.
Chaotic for
Chaotic
the win.
for the win. They did have the death penalty, but stopped using it around. Oh, you're kidding me. Wow.
Wait, is there a link? Or are you not doing that?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Oh, I didn't know if you put one out for her to do the stream for you or not.
They already started. But up to you, Gypsy. I don't know what link to use.
Your link for the StreamYard, and she was going to come up, and on her face, she was, instead of seeing her icon, you would see the screen. She would play it for you on her.
Oh, my link. You mean
Yeah, for the StreamYard link to come up on panel.
Okay, I got you now.
That's what we used to do.
I thought y'all meant share on Crumb's channel. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know it.
And we'll use her Wi-Fi so we can,
You should get with Beth on that. Does she know any home businesses? A local lady here makes very nice black soap and body butter.
Man, I used to be out there.
Here's chaotic. All right, here we go. All right, we're here.
Shut my chat up. Nice. This is the easy way to do it.
Understood why something like this could happen.
Thank you.
You would say, please take care of my family. Make sure that they're protected as time goes on and as this life goes on.
Will you teach my husband how to do that, please, Chaotic?
To go forward.
It came right up perfect.
In this life. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I'll
ma'am.
call and walk you through it.
Okay.
I'm still going to do a training stream too, a private stream, so we can learn all this crap. We're going to do it with her sometime.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome if you do that.
Hello, Your Honor. My name is Landon Bullard, also referred to as Hyatt in this case, but Bullard's B-U-L-L-A-R-D. I miss you, Gannon, and I love you to the moon and back again. I know every day you're with me and your sisters, but that will never be taken away. The ache that I have for you, to hold you, to hug you, to tell you how much I love you, and to see your smile and your innocence. I remember all the pain your dad and I suffered with having children. It was never easy, and we were always fearful through the process. On September the 29th, 2008, our lives were forever changed. Our first biggest blessing came into the world, weighing only 1 pound and 6 ounces. You fought all the odds and developed a personality and a smile that's larger than life. You became my hero that day. You forever changed my heart and my life, and that will never change. That is something that can never be taken away from me. You came into this world fighting.
She won't even look at them. Look at her.
And unfortunately,
she gets her.
You left this world fighting. Your Honor, she fought against someone that he loved and trusted. Someone that myself and Albert both trusted and loved. Someone who can never understand what it means to love or trust anyone but herself. For more than 3 agonizing years, I've often wondered what I may say, or if I would even be able to. For 3 years, I have questioned every single possibility and scenario. For 3 years, I have tried to forgive you, but I can't. I want to. But no parent should have to bury their child. No parent should have to see or hear the horrific things you have done. To the whole family, she has taken away the most precious gift in this world. Not just my family, not Al's family, but your own family. She destroyed dozens of lives of people who never wanted to believe that she could have done this. She knew how special Gannon was, and she knew what meant to most to me. I, in my heart, can never understand her hatred and insecurities. When it came to me, I did love her. Mother to mother, I trusted her with my children while trying to survive a complicated life with my third child. And she used every opportunity to write a narrative of my life to try to take pieces of my life. When she already took some of it, that still wasn't enough. She searched. I lost my place. I don't know where I'm at now. She searched so hard for love when all along she had it, but she took it for granted. I didn't hold anger against you then. I still kept my heart open to her. She had
Yeah,
so,
they wouldn't let me
you
get
had
up
so
and
much
do that
love
at my
from
daughter's.
Lena and Gannon, from Harley, her own daughter, that you willingly subjected to the chance of serving time for her crimes. Such an indicator of her inability to love anyone herself. You had support, appreciation for me, even when we couldn't see eye to eye, because I valued her for helping me with our children when I physically couldn't. Even when I was fighting for my kids, as you wrote a false smear campaign against me and my children, and also Al. For me, I still appreciated that they were loved by you. So I thought. She had everyone fooled. She projected abuse and addiction claims against all of us, not just me, when all along she was the one harming innocent children. Anything to take the light off, manipulating us, breaking my kids, and murdering my son. I can't say that she ruined my life, because that will be some form of sick victory for her. Because even through this process, it's been a game to her. The people who listened doesn't know her style or her sly jabs. She's even made at Albert and I. They do not know the significance of certain things she says or does. But we do. Instead of allowing her to take that power of hurting me further, I wanted to tell you this. Let me tell you what Gannon has done. Even to this day, even after you murdered him and she tried to taint any positive image of him, he has caused families and communities to come together. Children and adults have given their life to Christ. He has called unity in times of trial. He is a hero. She even tried to steal that away. A cape? Huh? The one image of Gannon that was created for the world. After it went national, TV begging for the return of my son, my hero. How dare her? How truly sick and cruel is she? You stole so much from this world. Gannon's cousins, aunts, uncles, sisters, new siblings, grandparents, and friends are missing a huge portion of their lives without Gannon. Lena is missing her brother. Your Honor, I've never seen a bond between two siblings so close as theirs. She had to take that. Why? I'm afraid we may never know that answer, will we? I show his baby sister Nova pictures and videos of Gannon so she will always remember who he is, because she stole him from us. He is not forgotten and never will be. And it's so sad to sit here today and face her, a person even Gannon loved, one that I know while she was attacking and killing him and fought for his life, he defended himself against her, still loving her. A love she never deserved from him for what she has done. While she is too much of a coward to even come forward with the truth, she owes it to Gannon. But the lack of remorse and the lack of respect to Gannon through this child, her lack of compassion shows me that she and we were all wrong. She manipulated all of us and never loved Gannon, Lena, or Harley. I've sat here for over a month having to listen to her sick lies. Even as she tried to destroy who I was and Albert as a father, I've had to sit and listen and watch every reenactment of images no one wants left in their mind. You wanted to leave us with that, knowing it would torture us. But you underestimated me. I am Landon, Gannon's mom, and that will never change. Through my hurt, anger, and pain, I will never be the monster that she is. I can never be filled with the hate that her heart holds. I pray that we will never have to look at her face again. I will continue to hold on to my faith. Vengeance is not mine, as I surely wish it could be at times, but it's the Lord's. I have to trust in that. Thank you, Judge Warner, for your compassion, your patience through this trial. I want to thank the juror for their attentiveness and time that they took for justice for my boy, to the detectives, officers, legal team for every single second they've poured out into Gannon's case, and to the community for your countless hours. Tisha, that was her biggest mistake. You underestimated this community and this defensive team, Lorson Ranch. They searched for and fought for Gannon within hours, and they never believed your lies from the moment they started. None of these people ever gave up on him. You never looked. All of these people I will forever hold close to my heart. Always Gannon strong. My G-men forever. Justice has been served today. Your Honor, I pray that you just give her the best sentencing, the longest sentencing that you can. This will not bring my son back, but I can sleep soundly for the first time in 3 years, knowing that you can never harm, this defendant can never harm anyone again, knowing Gannon will always be a true hero in a cape. He will always be my son. That will never be taken away.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Allen?
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. Do, 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 do. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger. Pushing each other to the limits, we were learning quicker.
Well, that was powerful.
Al Stauk, Gannon's father, capital Father. Last name Stauk. Stauch. I'm gonna start with something from my wife, not to go out of order, but she didn't think she could make it through it. So this is my wife, Melissa, and these are her words. Some may say or think that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Tisha. In part, that may be accurate, and I would be okay with that, because then Gannon would still be here. I too know the pain of losing a child, and there is no greater pain. We are now lifelong grief partners, as this is a lifelong journey of pain with 2 sons waiting for us in heaven.
This is so sad. Wow. He better give her
I have some
life
words from my
after
daughter
that.
Elena I will address in the middle of my speech, but they're written in yellow, so I don't know if I should leave it to a child. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever God may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. The poem I read is named Invictus, translated from the Latin means unconquerable. I quoted this same poem at Gannon's memorial here in Colorado Springs back in August of 2020. When his body was ripped to shreds on January 27th. Well, as we heard testimony to, his body was found 1,370 miles away. and then in the process to identify his maggot-infested remains withheld him from us until July
Oh my
2020.
God.
As I stated in my testimony on the stand, Gannon was being born severely premature and barely filled my two hands the first time I held him.
I'm very sorry.
At the end of
sir.
his life, after his body was cremated into a pile of ashes, he was ultimately no bigger than the first time I held him. As brutal as the wait became, I'm thankful to God and the bridge workers for finding him and returning his precious body to Landon and I quote the poem Invictus again, not to boast of my strength and perseverance, Your Honor, but to say to the world, I alone can control my actions and reactions. Your Honor, I refuse to allow anger to poison my soul and orient my life to a pursuit of vengeance. I refuse to allow pain to carry me through each day and promote the pursuit of medicinal retribution toward the offender. I refuse also to let my mind be clouded by inconsistency and emotions that deter me from the purpose in this life. Your Honor, the price I pay each and every day for this resolve is to only get pieces and parts of my son.
Oh my gosh.
And consistently through time,
This is the worst thing
the
I've ever
pain is
heard.
too heavy and the anger too overwhelming and the desire for vengeance too vexing. Instead, each and every day I pursue peace. I seek joy in my life and let the love I have for my wife and family flow in and out of me like a mighty wave. As I told Tisha regularly at the end of our relationship, my joy is mine alone, and she cannot rob me of that. I will learn to experience G more and more as time goes on, but as I did my best to instill into his precious soul, love, joy, service, and kindness are the pathway to take in life. This picture shows that in the 4th grade, he already had a mind for service. Throughout these past 3 years since Gannon was beaten and drugged, carved up, shot at point blank range and discarded like yesterday's garbage, I've encountered many people that would figuratively do the same to me. I've been questioned, compared as Tisha did to my abusive father, and ridiculed for my approach to finding Gannon. I hope now that the world has seen that I was assigned the most arduous task of finding Gannon in the only place that was possible for him to have been in the mind of a killer. Were my efforts fruitful? I believe so. But from the moment I did not see the Volkswagen Tiguan, or however you say it, at French Elementary on that Tuesday evening, a clear direction for finding Gannon pointed directly and precisely at Tisha. While others online, some who are even in the courtroom today, questioned my perceived lack of effort or concern, I stood still and stood firm in knowing that only one person had the information needed to find Gannon. Now I say woe to the person who questions a father's resolve when the safety and well-being of his children are at stake. I did not waver. I did not falter in the pursuit, nor did I allow the mentality of the mob to shake me. But it was only by the grace of God that Gannon's precious body was finally found. In Mark 4:39 of the Bible, in the middle of a storm, Christ arose and rebuked the wind and said, "Peace, be still." In times of trial in my life, from seeing my father being taken away in handcuffs, seeing that sweet 1 pound, 6 ounce baby boy for my firstborn son being put into a Ziploc bag after he was born to help regulate his body temperature, and now searching for and never finding my son again, I have but one choice, and that is the times of trial and tribulation, to have that peace and be still. As I alluded to previously, that stillness does provide an easy target for many who do not understand peace, hope, and even faith. Some, including Tisha, feasted on my stillness, attacked, and yes, left several scars. One of these scars comes in the form of the financial and residential ruin that began in the early days of this ordeal. I'm just going to skip this part because I don't want to make this any more about me. I'm not seeking any restitution, Your Honor. For the $1.50 a month I received from the defendant, Tisha, would just keep me connected to her for the rest of my life, and I don't want that. So absolutely no restitution, Your Honor. The murderer of which I speak was not always such. When I met Tisha, she was beautiful, extremely intelligent, as many have testified to, and a seemingly successful woman. A far cry from the nappy-headed, murderous, narcissistic, and arrogantly flippant human being that sits in our midst today. Having a background in teaching social work, higher education, certified babysitting, and endless amount of credentials that should render one trustworthy when it relates to the safety of children. However, although she remains too much a coward to state the facts of what she did to Gannon, too much a lily-livered, self-centered, pathological liar to ask for forgiveness, and too much the facade of one who actually cares for others to have taken her frustration out on an adult or one who could defend themselves, she will one day give an account through her words or through her time. Sending pictures of Gannon sleeping to Landon and I was telling, as the boy looked pale and absent of the energies that so defined him. This is what a happy, healthy little boy looks like when he's sleeping. The next picture. That's what a little boy sleeping looks like. These pictures on the screen are of a happy, healthy little boy that's sleeping sweetly, healthily where he lay. The impact Tisha had as a result of this heinous crime stretches far wider and far deeper than I could depict through my statement today. 2 other people torn to pieces as a result of this are Gannon's sister, Lena, and Harley. Speaking of Harley, I feel as though I've lost 2 children as a result of this tragedy, one of which I will never see on this earth again, and the other which I do not know if a relationship can be salvaged with. Now for Lena. The video you saw as submitted in evidence, her bebopping down the street, is actually an excellent depiction of Lena and her happiness and her joy in life. She is very loving, trusting, and at times way too social. Normally, you might be concerned by your little girl talking to the utility guy working in the front yard, but in this case, it was the inside of her own home that was of grave concern. Nonetheless, her loss, Lena's loss, is like none I can even imagine. She lost her big brother, her only brother at the time. I still do not know if she has fully processed or fully understands the gravity of the situation, but regardless has pressed forward and is thriving as best as she can. I am so proud of her. And these are her words. Once again, they're in yellow, so I'll do the best I can. And this is what I asked her if she wanted to say anything to Tisha, and this is what she said in her sweetest mind that she has, that you do not do that to people, especially your stepkids. And that it is never all right to do these things. How sweeter of a response can you get? Now for my precious, premature firstborn son. Get it? I never in my wildest dreams would have ever thought you'd be in danger, buddy, or I know I wouldn't have not left you. At home with what turned out to be your murderer and the last person to ever see you on this earth. I'm so sorry.
My gosh.
Through a father's eyes, children are truly a gift from God and among the best and most perfect creations God can make. Your Honor, I do need to clear one thing up with the defense. It was said both in the opening statement and in the closing, somehow Gannon has been compared to a demon. And I understand the process. I do. But if they want to take the case up of Gannon being a demon, I will line people up from Alaska to Denver to Colorado Springs, all the way to South Carolina to testify against them. Gannon was nobody's demon. I don't care how much anyone was abused or anything. He was not anyone's demon. Oh, okay. Gannon was truly my buddy. Very recently, before he died, the most alarming thing he did was call me dad. Up until age 10 or 11, I was daddy.
Wow.
But in the last months of his life, I was just dad. A signal that he was coming into those junior high, pre-teenage years. Another amazing thing that is he finally started asking me regularly to play ball with him. He was never too much into sports for most of his life, but that last 6 to 9 months, he really started enjoying playing ball. Some of the most memorable times were him running little 5-yard football routes in the street in front of our house, Most of the time he dropped the ball, but he kept asking, let's do it again. I almost had it that time, Daddy. Oh, and that Nintendo Switch. One of the most difficult pieces of evidence to give up was his Nintendo, because that probably has the most of him on it. Knowing I may never see that again is truly devastating. For him, many of his games were not just games, but a challenge to overcome, as I made him beat specific games before I would buy him the next one. I remember not long before he died, him beating the old school Zelda game he had. As he felt he was getting close to beating the final monster, he paused it, ran upstairs, and we sat at the kitchen island, and he beat it right there together with me. He was as excited as I ever saw him. With all of that and all of the pain of only being able to see him play through the one YouTube video he was able to make, which I'm about to play, I can sleep in peace at night because the father I am and the son he is was culminated as always in our final embrace as he ran out of arms and downstairs to watch Pokemon, I in his heart and he in mine. If we could try to play that video, just maybe the first 10 or 15 seconds of it.
Hey guys, and today I'm about to play some Sonic Mania.
Alright, let's zoom in.
And yes, cameraman is right here. Grandpa Solar White Gaming. And yes, sign up for our channels. We're going to be doing a lot of these together. Give a shout out to him, his channel, Freedom.
Thank you. I was one of the many he hoped to make and the only one he was actually able to make. I do want to add something that I don't have in my speech that me and Landon already had a conversation about this, and I owe her an apology as well as she already gave me one, that we allowed Tisha to manipulate us into some of the pain and disagreements that we had between one another. And Landon, I'm sorry. But I will say this, Tisha was not the glue to keep everything together. She was not the answer. And this is not a jab, Landon, okay? But Lena still lives with me. Tisha, you were not the answer. Now, Your Honor, if I have any influence on the final sentence for Tisha, first I ask to be stripped of my last name immediately. It's nauseating and infuriating to hear her called Miss Stout this past 3 years. Secondly, I ask that for every mile she drove Gannon across the country, she spent 1 day in solitary confinement. I think that take us in between 3 and 4 years. After that journey is complete, I recommend her sentence be equal to every year she stripped off of Gannon's life, which for the average male in America right now is 77. So that would give her 66 more years in addition to the 11 he lived. Lastly, for every year of Harley's life that she abusively manipulated that child, she should have an additional year of prison. Adds 21 years to the total. I think without parole, that should suffice. I pray also that Tisha lives the fullest and happiest life that any inmate possibly can live. I also pray that every night before she falls asleep, her last breath before she drifts off sounds just like the breath that she describes Gannon breathing as life left his body. And that all through her sleep, she dreams of all the fun they had at Disney and other places we went throughout our time together. And that every morning as she is about to wake, the end of her dream, the last words Gannon spoke to her, screamed or cried, "Tisha, stop! You're hurting me. Why, Tisha? Daddy, help me. I want my mommy. Why couldn't you let her just be a mama's boy? That's all he wanted to be. He just loved his mama. I wish she would tell me what those words were so I would know." And then as she speaks those words, the sound of a gunshot goes off and she wakes. Every day and night, I pray she relives just those moments and then wakes up to a nice, warm, and kosher breakfast. In conclusion, I would like to share a picture of Gannon in his final state and final resting place, and thank everyone that has had a positive impact on my family and I. To everyone that has shared the positive impact Gannon has had on your life, from a proud and broken father From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I'd like to pause until we can get that last photo up.
Not getting a feed from your laptop. It's fine. Oh, there it is.
Thank you, everyone.
Do y'all notice she's not crying? No remorse whatsoever.
No reaction.
She's a real psychopath.
That was some of the deepest testimony I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. Both of those.
She had her a nice
Intense.
family, a good man. It's a shame. No remorse.
Like
I
all of
don't
us
know.
listening are more affected than her right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alan?
I think that concludes the comments from family and friends, Judge. So I'm not sure if you're ready to hear sentencing comments from me or if you want to do a different process.
Let me hear the sentencing comments from you. The last person that I always hear from in the sentencing is the defendant. So
Okay. Can I have just a moment, please?
you may go ahead.
Yeah,
She's
just
gonna
in the
talk.
abundance of caution, I would ask the court to keep restitution open for a period of time. Obviously, Mr. Stout is not asking for any restitution, but there may be some that we want to submit, and so I would ask the court to keep that open.
Well, based on the new case regarding timelines, I'm going to give you 49 days to submit an order.
Thank you.
If there is an objection, you'll need to file the objection within 14 days after that. And that'll get us all right. So 49 days, 14 if there's an objection, and if there is, we'll have a hearing.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Judge, I'm not going to make a long drawn out statement. I think the comments from the family and friends of the Stout family said it better than I ever could about the impact that Gannon had on their lives. The loss of Gannon from his family and to this community will never be made right through this process. We all know that. The defendant, through her own actions, tore Gannon's family apart, tore this community apart. And at the same time, I've never seen a community come together the way this community did in the face of such tragedy over an 11-year-old boy who most of us never knew.
Yeah, except her.
I mean, I just don't know how did she
defendant
even
manipulated this
physically
community?
do this?
Gannon's family, the
Insanity.
investigation. I've been a prosecutor for a long time, Judge. You've seen a lot of cases. I've never seen the kind of horror that this defendant brought down on a community and a family. The torture that Gannon had to suffer in the last moments of his life are unspeakable. No matter what sentence you give us, Judge, and I know what that sentence is going to be for the most part, no matter what the sentence is, we'll never bring Gannon back. But it will go a long ways towards healing this community. I hope healing Landon. I hope healing Al. They're going to live the rest of their lives second guessing every decision they made as it relates to leaving their children in the care of this defendant. Through no fault of their own. Judge, on count 1 and count 2, count 2 merges into count 1. The only sentence available is life in prison without parole. As to count 4, tampering with a deceased human body, driving Gannon's body over 1,300 miles away, hiding it from view, hoping it would never be found. I ask for the maximum sentence of 12 years, Judge, and that it be running consecutive to the life in prison without parole. Tampering with physical evidence is an F6. It's 1 to 1.5 years. I ask that you give max on that as well and run that consecutive. Judge, we do have that other pending case, 20 CR 3170, hanging out there. In the grand scheme of things, well, I'd love to prosecute this defendant for that charge as well. In the interest of justice, I would like to see this defendant in Department of Corrections custody as soon as possible. And so we are dismissing that count or that charge. Thank you, Judge.
All right, at this point in time, the defense has an opportunity to present statements in mitigation. Mr. Tellini.
We understand what sentences as a matter of law. It's out on the council.
What could you really say to that?
Court staff said she ordered that she realized she was.
What did he say? I couldn't hear him.
I didn't hear that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Ms. Staunch, I heard what your attorney had to say, but I need to hear it from you. You have a right to address the court at this point in time regarding any matter that you want me to consider for sentencing. Do you have anything that you wish for me to consider, ma'am? All right.
She never got upset at all.
Not at all.
Actually, there is.
Go ahead.
Consider this or request to admit, like to request for her to be placed in San Carlos.
What?
I don't have the ability to do that.
She wanted to move
DOC
somewhere.
determines where
She wanted to move.
its inmates go. And I'm not going to make a recommendation one way or the other. And I'm going to apologize before I do this. I've heard a lot.
See the tomato and onion
It'll take
already
about
cut
10
up?
minutes to put my thoughts in order.
It's right there in bowls. There's two bowls.
Um,
One's covered and one's not.
Tomatoes?
I'll come back
The
with my
onion
sentencing
and
at 3:25.
Sorry.
All right.
I thought it was muted.
I thought you might have. That's all I wanted you to know. Wow, she wants to move somewhere. You want a choice now. What about him? Dumb bee. No! Put the camera back on.
Why did they do that?
Yeah, why did they do that? Oh, please no.
I saw her smiling too. It's
She's
because
like
she's
Lori
getting
Vallow.
attention. Even though it's negative, narcissists love attention.
A
Even
true
if it's
one, yep.
negative.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope we don't miss the sentence part.
They said they
I
would be
think
back,
you-
but I didn't catch when they said.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't see
just
that.
gonna, I'm just gonna leave this up, and
Yes, we
that
don't
way
miss
Gypsy can see it, and she can,
Mhm.
remove it from screen, put
Okay.
it back up whenever she needs to.
Thank you,
Okay,
Chaotic, for doing this.
You're
That
welcome.
was the most
Big time.
intense
I
shit I ever
appreciate
heard.
it so much. We couldn't figure it out.
Those
I'm sure he's
statements
going to
were.
give her life. Don't y'all think?
Oh, I think so
I
too. By
can't
the look on the.
imagine him not giving her life.
He looked like he was gonna cry.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the pressure on a judge like that, and it was so palpable. And I was thinking of you the whole time, actually, like when they were, as another parent that had that happen to your child. I was thinking the whole time how you would feel and how listening to these parents talk, and I imagine it must have touched you deeply too.
Well, all I remember, and there's just bits and pieces of the trial that I even remember, but I do remember Ken wrote an impact statement on behalf of both of us because I knew I wasn't going to be able to read it. And then he wasn't
Right.
able to read it, so he gave it to the DA, but our DA was kind of an asshole.
Oh, that's
So
too bad.
he didn't put, yeah, he was a total asshole through the whole thing. He's not even a DA anymore. So
Wow. I'm sorry.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, he didn't really
But
put
it was
much feeling in it at all.
well, those were tangible. Like I'm sure everybody in that room, except for her, she didn't move. She didn't flinch. She didn't look sorry.
She's sitting there making
How
sure her hair's pretty.
how dare she? How could she? That father fell on the podium crying. He couldn't even read. Not even flinching. The dumb. Oh,
I'm wondering when he said when they met, she was this, beautiful woman who had a career and had all these, credentials. Where did it go wrong?
certificates.
Where and why did it go so awry?
Yeah. So she was a psycho holding it in, probably, and together on the outside, waiting to burst
Well,
at any
she
moment, I
had
think.
said, and some, I don't know if she was writing it or if she said it or if she Googled it, but she had said that she just felt like a babysitter, and she was salty about it.
I see.
Be careful who you bring around your children.
Yeah, let this be
And
your
and
reminder.
and boyfriends and girlfriends aren't babysitters,
And people aren't always what they seem.
right?
But obviously, this is an extreme case, but still. Still. They sure did make an impact, both of them.
Yeah, his was awesome. His
I think
scripture,
they nailed it.
poem,
Yeah.
all of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they nailed it.
She was jealous. She was jealous of the mother. Yeah.
Wow. Just wow.
That's what happens, I don't know. Wow. Back in Boswell, her grandmother was on a high-speed chase in my town. She ran right through my town during a high-speed chase. Yep.
Crazy,
And one of the last sightings of her, the little girl, was at our KFC.
Wow.
They seen her in the car when they went through KFC.
On camera?
Yeah, WXII News Center 12 in North Carolina has the footage where they interviewed the girl who checked them out at the KFC.
Wow.
It was in Yaganville, North Carolina. The high-speed chase came from, I think they were in Wilkes County. That's where they were. That's where they were staying at the time. What was all wrong? The mama killed her. the grandmother never had her. Yeah, she they were implicating the grandmother and her boyfriend, and the grandmother said real peculiar things. Like she said something. What was it, Ken? She started singing a song. You'll find her down by the old willow tree.
Jeez.
And it
Psycho.
became a big news thing here in our town. She was implicating herself.
Not big.
Grandmother never had her. Megan killed her way before. Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know who was in the car that day, but they had it on camera that she was at the KFC. The high-speed chase didn't happen at the same time, though.
Wow.
Yeah. It was two totally different instances. I think after a while they realized it wasn't the grandma and boyfriend, but they were still living near us and getting into trouble. But yeah. Yeah, I'll leave that up right there till.
So is the judge, did they just step aside? Did he need some more time to think before sentencing? Is that what happened?
Huh?
Did the judge step aside to think before sentencing? Is that what's going on? He needed a few more minutes?
Chaotic. Do you know?
I just realized I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
Yeah, he said he was coming back. I heard 15, so I'm assuming he said he was taking a 15-minute break and then coming back for it.
A break? I need a break after that.
Okay, let's see. The KFC incident happened when we all knew the baby was gone. So maybe it was Megan that they saw and not the baby. Is that what it is, Southern Girl? Maybe they saw the mom in the drive-thru.
I think they found the car parked there.
The car was dumped there?
Yeah.
Ken says the car was dumped there. Gotta go back and watch this footage.
I don't know that one. 3 minutes
A
left.
year
Thank you, May.
ago. See, the car was abandoned in Moxville?
No, in Yacksville, they found them in Moxville.
Oh. Evelyn had been dead about 2 months prior. Oh, wow. God. Such cute little babies, too, right? All these children, I mean, whether they were cute or not, I mean, but you get what I mean. I mean, just beautiful little gifts.
Completely dependent. Completely dependent on you.
Let's see what's on. When her dad called police, Evelyn had been dead about a month. Holy cow.
Another one of them.
Wow.
I'm particularly bothered by the Harmony one, of course, because I can't conceive how a kid could be missing so long without people know, you know.
Right. I know, without her mom getting her together, right?
And they're sitting there collecting checks from freaking food stamps.
Well, the West case, they went and bought a house based off having
The
those
income
two
level.
boys, the income level.
And I didn't know that till you just told me.
Oh, is that right? October. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Let me see what she said. Stepped away. Well, that's what a lot of us think, yeah, with the language. But I don't think that person would go in Mama T's. That's what I don't get. And that's where they're mainly at, I think. Oh, actually, somebody said they were a tiger too, right?
They're back. They're back.
Oh, okay. Let me shut my chat off.
That was so sad, chaotic. I watched the footage of that.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You got any kind of... I'm zooming in on this one's face. Is she already cuffed? I think she's cuffed already.
A parent's worst nightmare is getting a phone call letting them know that something has happened to their child. How much worse must that nightmare be when law enforcement asks not for a picture of your loved one, but rather DNA and dental records? I've also heard it said that one of the worst tragedies a parent can experience is to outlive a child. I have known people, both professionally and personally, who have gone through that. It never leaves them, but the sharpness of the pain does diminish to some extent over time. I cannot fathom the pain Mr. Staunch and Ms. Bullard have experienced as a result of the defendant's actions. A sentence in a criminal case such as this will not change the fact that their son's life was taken from them, and no sentence I impose and nothing I say will ever change that fact. Ms. Staunch, you betrayed the person you loved enough to marry. You told your husband lies and took away someone he loved. You took away every day that Mr. Staunch or Ms. Bullard could have had with their son.
Yeah.
When you take a life, regardless of how you do that, you forever alter the future. Neither Mr. Staunch nor Ms. Bullard will ever see their son graduate from high school, go through the joy and the pain of that first love, or get married. They will never know what kind of impact their son may have had on the world if only he had lived to become an adult. And had Gannon's body not been found, they never would have known what happened to Gannon. They would always have had a lingering doubt about what happened to Gannon. And I cannot imagine the pain and sense of loss associated with that. You betrayed your daughter, Harley Hunt. I cannot imagine the emotional impact that you have had on her due to your selfish and calculated actions. This is a young woman that trusted you to put her interests above yours. This is a young woman who believed in you and believed you were innocent of this crime right up until the time that you pled not guilty by reason of insanity. And she still loves you. That's natural for a child, and it doesn't matter how much older they get. You were supposed to protect her. I cannot imagine the guilt she feels or the therapy that she will need to address your betrayal. There is no evidence that she had anything to do with the murder or your cover-up of it, but some people still think that she is somehow involved. She wasn't. The incredible strength of will and courage that it took for her to come in and testify is amazing to me. But she did it because, as she said, it was the right thing to do. And while thankfully she didn't testify, let's not forget about Lena. You betrayed her too. You took her brother from her and forever altered her family dynamics. She will always wonder who she can trust and will always feel that loss. She was there the day you killed Gannon. His body was still in the house when she got back from school. At some point, you even claimed this 8-year-old girl helped you move her brother's body from the basement to the back of your car. That's just simply not true. As she gets older, Lena is going to want to know more, and she's going to want to know if there was something that she could have done to prevent this. I hope she comes to realize that she has no fault in all of this. You betrayed your stepson, and you took his life. You took away everything he was and everything he could ever become. I can't imagine the terror and confusion that he must have felt in the last moments of his life when he knew his life was being taken by someone he trusted to protect it. Your attempt to raise the claim that you did this because of your adverse childhood is also a betrayal of people that have mental health issues. It is no secret that there is a large part of our population that has mental health issues. It's also no secret that our country and our health system could do a much better job addressing mental health issues than it does. However, the number of people with mental health issues who become violent is small, and the number who become murderers is smaller still. Your claim that a mental health issue caused the murder in this case is a disservice to all those who struggle with mental health issues every day. This isn't the first case I have presided over in which sanity or a mental condition of the defendant has been raised as a defense. I have had cases where the defendant's mental condition caused the defendant to act out in a certain fashion. But even in those cases, I have never seen conduct like this. I understand the claim of dissociative identity disorder. I have seen something resembling that, and I have seen defendants with schizophrenic disorders. I can understand those. What I have seen is that the mental condition causes the person to act a certain way, and when they realize what they did, they are astonished by what happened, or they have no memory of what happened. Your claim is that it was another personality that murdered Gannon, but there is no time during the minutes, hours, and days following the murder where Leticia came out and wondered, gee, why am I carrying a body around in my luggage? That just isn't credible. You knew what you were doing. You made a number of clear and conscious decisions to cover or disguise what you had done. Claiming a lack of motive is a common defense tactic, and it can be a sound strategy. The truth is, however, that it only takes a moment to make a bad decision that results in disastrous consequences. And oftentimes, we never know why a defendant chose a particular course of action. However, that does not mean that they did not intend to undertake a course of action. Sometimes, as in this case, the likely explanation is anger. An 11-year-old boy with burns who feels that he's not being taken care of. An 11-year-old boy on the verge of being a teenager. Those of us who have lived through people or kids with that were teenagers, we know how that is. It is not hard to imagine Gannon saying something, "You're not my mom. I want my mom. I want my dad." And that would be enough to make you really angry. But anger is not an excuse. A defendant is responsible for the choices they made and the actions they undertook, even though those choices arose out of or were motivated by anger. It's clear that you hated and were jealous of Landon Bullard. You saw yourself as a better mother than she was. It's clear from the evidence that you had some resentment from being left with Mr. Stauch's children. It's clear you had some resentment toward Mr. Stauch because he traveled as part of his job. Some of that manifested as early as Al's assignment in Alaska when you made allegations against the people in his unit. That caused Al to have to return from Alaska. And in one of the phone calls that were played for the jury, you talked about having to take care of his kids while he was away and what a good mother you were. It's clear you felt trapped. You wanted out. You were searching for a new job and a new location in Florida. Mr. Stauch had been gone on his new assignment for less than 2 days when the fire in the basement occurred. I can imagine that you saw your whole future consisting of taking care of Mr. Stauch's children while he was off doing his thing, and that's not the future that you wanted. I can imagine Gannon at some point after he sustained his burns telling you wanted his real mom and how that comment would have made you angry. You took your frustration and anger for the marriage, the child care, the absence of Al, and even living in Colorado. You took all of that out on Gannon. The evidence suggests you first stabbed Gannon repeatedly, 18 times. Based on the number of defensive wounds, he was clearly conscious for some of that. He was certainly gravely wounded. And chillingly, it would also explain how you were able to mimic the sound of Gannon breathing in one of your sessions with Dr. Lewis. Those were probably close to his last breaths. He was dying but not dead. The evidence could also lead one to conclude that he either fell or rolled off the bed where you shot him in the head and then beat him with the butt of a gun or a baseball bat. That would explain the blood found at different levels on the walls in Gannon's bedroom. I'm also reminded of the look you had on your face when you slipped your handcuffs while being transported back to Colorado and attacked Deputy James. I shudder to think that that was probably the last thing that Gannon saw before he died. You have shown no remorse throughout this process. Instead, you've made a choice to build a web of lies. When you gave an interview to Detective Jessica Bethel on January 29 of 2020, you told her, you lied to her about Gannon running away and that he was actually taken by a guy named Eduardo. When you explained that to Detective Bethel, you said you needed to lie because you didn't want to face the consequences. You told her that you were trying to come up with a plan about what you should do. And finally, you told her you really thought you could fix this. I think that's true. You lied because you didn't want to face the consequences. You needed to come up with a plan to fix this, and that plan involved covering up what you had done. It involved lie upon lie. But you slipped up at various points and let kernels of truth escape. In one conversation with Mr. Staunch, you told him the FBI needed to close the borders of Colorado, needed to close I-95. I-95 doesn't go through Colorado. It's an interstate that runs along the entire eastern seaboard. It's also not far from where you dumped Gannon's body. When questioned by Detective Bethel, you told her that Mr. Staunch might also make up some kind of story about you coming at him with a knife. You said you would never use a knife like that. Yet Gannon was stabbed 18 times. Your actions in this case also show a very conscious attempt to avoid responsibility in this case. You started out with the story that Gannon had run away. You gave some hints that it might be related to bath salts or drug use by Gannon. You stayed with that story until you were called into EPSO for an interview. You knew they weren't going to buy the story that Gannon ran away. Then you came up with the abduction. And you stayed with some iteration of that for a long time. But all of those versions had one thing in common. You were always the victim. In one, you're beaten and raped and Gannon was abducted. In one, someone stole Gannon out of a truck in the parking lot. In another, you let someone drive Gannon to a hospital to take care of a head injury that he had after falling off a bike. In all of them, you could claim it wasn't your fault. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Then you got arrested. You stuck to the story that it was someone else that took Gannon. During the hours that you spoke with Special Agent Grusing, he told you he thought sometimes good people do bad things and sometimes it's an accident. Then they found Gannon's body. Then you saw the mountain of evidence against you. And this is a mountain the size of Everest. What was your position after that? Well, it was an accident. And you, Leticia, didn't even do it. It was Maria Sanchez. You carefully crafted your new story to continue to avoid responsibility. It also allowed you to take advantage of the out that Mr. Grusing and Mr. Staunch suggested much, much earlier when they asked you if this was an accident. Now it was an accident. Your Maria Sanchez personality shot Gannon by mistake because she thought he was an intruder in a cape. Multiple personalities is not credible in this setting, as regardless of how many personalities you have, you only have one body. I have presided over cases where a mental disease or defect prevented a defendant from remembering the course of events, including the commission of the crime. Without exception, those defendants have been terrified when contacted by law enforcement because there was a period of time in their lives that they could not account for. Their body may have sustained an injury, and they don't know how it happened. They may have some new object in their house or on their person, and they have no idea where they got it from. We all have free will, and we all make choices based on that free will. The people who suffer from the mental disorder you claim are terrified because their free will has been taken from them, and they are being subjected to things and experiences they don't understand and don't have any recollection of. You didn't behave anything like that. One of the purposes is to impose an appropriate sentence for the criminal conduct that occurred. Another purpose is to punish an offender by imposing a sentence that takes into account the seriousness of the offense. Yet another purpose of sentencing is to prevent crime and promote respect for the law by providing an effective deterrent to others likely to commit a similar offense. Anyone who's been in my courtroom before knows that I've said sentencings are the most difficult thing that I do. That's especially true in cases where someone has lost his or her life. Nothing I or the law can do will ever bring that person back. I have handled hundreds, if not thousands, of criminal cases over the years. I think at this point in my career, I've presided over something like 200 jury trials. I've sentenced hundreds more defendants pursuant to plea agreements. This is not the first murder case that has come before me. This is not the first case I have presided over which involves harm to a child. This is not the first case I have had where a person who was in an unhappy marriage committed a crime. Sadly, statistically, there is a high correlation between violent acts, including murders, and family members. I have had a number of cases which have demonstrated one person's capacity for cruelty toward another human being. I can, however, say without hesitation that the facts in this case are the most horrific I have ever seen. Your conduct in this case deserves the maximum punishment that I can impose under Colorado law. As such, with respect to the charge of first-degree murder after deliberation, I remand you to the custody of the Colorado Department of Corrections for the remainder of your life with no possibility of parole.
Yes.
With respect to the charge of murder in the first degree of a child under 12 by a person in a position of trust, I remand you to the custody of Colorado Department of Corrections for the remainder of your life with no possibility of parole. Those two sentences will merge. If you have questions about that, you can ask your attorneys. With respect to the charge of tampering with the deceased human body, I'm also going to sentence you to 12 years, followed by a 3-year period of parole. That sentence is to be consecutive to the life sentences that I've already imposed. With respect to tampering with physical evidence, I'm going to impose an 18-month sentence. That sentence is also consecutive to the murder to the sentences for the murder charges that I have imposed. I also understand, with the consent of the prosecution, and I'm assuming no objection from the defense, that I will dismiss all the charges in 20 CR 3170, close that out, subject to restitution, give the people 49 days for restitution, 14 days for response, And if there's an issue, we will set it within the 90 days, within 90 days from. I think that resolved all outstanding matters. Is there anything else that the prosecution wishes for me to address?
And you're out.
You're busted.
Defense,
You're out of here.
court will be in
Never
recess.
heard a statement like that.
Is she crying now?
She still has no effect. I zoomed in on her. Look at. Nothing. No reaction.
Hell yeah.
What is wrong with
Hell
that chick?
yeah. Thank you again, Chaotic. You
That
came
was
to
awesome.
the rescue.
She damn did. Sure
That
did.
was, man. Wow.
Okay, I'm going to jump back in chat.
I'm so glad that this was the judge. Thank you again.
You're welcome. I'll be in chat.
Okay. Everybody thank Chaotic. Wow, wow,
Thank
wow.
you, Chaotic.
Right? I don't even know what to say. That was incredible, wasn't it, y'all?
I've never heard a judge all those statements like that. That was like, touching.
Yeah, man, he was paying attention to the trial, wasn't he?
He sure did pay attention.
He did.
I mean, that was intense as hell, and he caught every little thing. And I just don't know how, after hearing that, he's talking to her and she just had no effect still. It's so weird.
She didn't act like she wanted to hear anything that man had to say.
She acted like that with everyone. But
My
my dog
words
might
can
bark.
get Gypsy in trouble, so better say it right here. Yeah. Feel free to type
Right?
them. Go right ahead.
All right, 1 second.
But don't say it in Skirn's voice. Yeah, man, that's incredible. All right, Sarah. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get off here and eat dinner before Barnyard starts. We've
Oh,
only
yeah, I
got an
forgot
hour.
about
We've only
that.
got an hour before it starts.
I'm going to do some
So
cleaning
everybody
and
get
cooking.
ready and go eat your dinner and be ready to go watch Southern Girl and pick your person to go in the barn.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Chaotic, all that. I mean, that was just
Yeah.
one of the most touching. I haven't heard anything like that I can think of, you know. It was very intense. He did a killer job. That's like one of the best judges' statements I've ever heard.
Absolutely chaotic.
That'll stick
I will
stick
say
with
other
me.
judicial courts could learn a thing or two from
Yeah.
that judge.
No kidding,
God,
huh?
yeah. I'm so glad that my judge was so much better than my DA. My DA was an ass, but the
That's too bad.
judge was fantastic. Yeah.
Well, like you said, he's not one anymore, and that's horrible. I'm sorry you had to deal with that because they're supposed to help you.
It's
So.
the town. It was the town. So, you know, everybody said that he was going to be that way before it even started, and he lived up to it. Make sure everybody has multiple names you're going to think of in case your name has already been picked.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea. That's true.
Okay. Y'all hear that?
All
So
right.
have a backup.
Thank you for that tip. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, y'all go eat dinner and let's meet up back over at Southern Girls in an hour.
See you all soon. Thanks again.
Okay,
That was
yeah.
awesome.
Love you guys.
That was awesome.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Life is harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our love tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like